Oh,
Hi,
lovely.
Dagmar. Great.
Yes, so we have a lovely mix today of people who are graduates and people who just would love to participate, and also people who are interested in taking the upcoming training. So we're going to be working with all of that, and we're also going to be having our graduate students join us and offer, a few words to the group. So that's really lovely that they're coming here to enjoy the morning, but also to tell people what it's like to do our larger training. And some of them just finished last year's Shamanic Chinese Medicine practitioner training, and some of them are master's students. We have master's graduates, and we have people also in the doctoral program. So we have people from many levels who are here. So welcome to everyone. And let's get started. So the Shamanic Chinese Medicine is a really amazing window on life, and it's an aspect of healing and healing yourself, of course, healing others, and really in many ways, and we actually literally do this, look at healing the world in general. So it has a very large scope and scale to it. And I'm always amazed when I teach this, all the things that happen and the things that people report that happen to them, and just how wonderful and how simple it is to become really masters and magicians of this work. We look at the world as being not just this physical world, but also a world that is happening at the physical, the energetic, and the spiritual levels. And we look at ourselves as being connectors of heaven and earth. And there's actually a name for this in ancient China, which is the Wu. And the Wu is the ancient, originally female shaman of the Chinese ancient world. And I love that because it's really what we are here to do, and we are here to bring back and to focus on, is this connection of heaven and earth. So with that, I'm going to stand up here, and we're going to look at actually experiencing this in the body. And everything that we like to teach here, we like it to be an experience. We're not into belief systems. Oh, if you just believe it, you may need to do that in the beginning, but we actually want what we do to be a reality, to be very real for you. So, okay. So standing, and you can tell by John and I that our feet are apart. So you want to stand with your feet apart. Gives you more of a sense of grounding, and you want your knees to be soft here. And so you're really feeling grounded. So part of this training is about being grounded. And first thing we want to tune into is the earth below our feet. And so standing and feeling that earth below your feet. And if you make your hands pointing down towards the earth like their feet too, it also brings in more of that earth energy. You want your shoulders to be relaxed and really bring your awareness to the earth. And as you breathe in, you can even think of your hands becoming like suction cups and your feet being like suction cups. So you inhale and really suck the energy up from the earth, and then exhale back down into the earth. So inhale, exhale. Feel like you're an animal, feel like you're a tree, and you are connected to the earth. Your feet are connected to the earth. You can even imagine that your feet are down in the earth. And the earth is soft and loamy and warm. And as you breathe in, you're able to really absorb this energy. And then as you exhale, that it's soft and the energy goes back into the earth. So part of the work we do here is very earth focused, because we live in a world where people get disconnected from the earth. We live in houses, we have rubber shoes, we go around in cars and trains and planes, and we're not connected to the earth. So unless you get a garden, sometimes have a garden or go for a walk in the woods, you forget about our earth connection. And so much healing comes from the earth. We say that the elements for the physical body actually arise out of our connection to the earth. So breathing in from the earth. And imagine as you do this, that you are like a tree now. And that you have tree roots that are down, down, down in the earth. Maybe you're like a pine tree or a coniferous tree that has roots that go straight down like a taproot. Or maybe the roots that spread out sideways like a redwood tree, or like a maple tree, or like an oak tree. So these roots, and you can have all these roots. You can have a deep tap root, and you can have the horizontal roots. And energetically, you are like a tree that walks. And we do have these energetic roots. So it's not, we imagine it, but it's actually very real that we are this connected into the earth. So you really want to feel that deep connection. Now just bring your hands out a little bit in front of you and see if you can feel like a little breeze under your hands as you've done this now, coming up under the palms of your hands, a lifting energy. Because there is a magnetism between the earth and the sun, and the earth and the moon, that it is a magnetism. That's what keeps the earth, this huge planet, in its rotation around the sun. And as miraculous as that is, and if you can actually tune into a force that rises upward from the earth. So you want to feel and connect to an amazing, powerful rising force, and really feel that now all around you. Just relax your hands and feel an energy of the earth that rises upwards. And actually, all of your yin meridians, if you put your hands up, would rise upward. And so all of that, you can invite all of your yin meridians to rise upward and come off the top of your hands like a tree, like you're a tree now, and you're reaching up towards the light and getting in touch with that flow of the earth towards the light. And then just to invite the yin organs, they're all in the yin meridians, they're all in the front of the body and on the inside of the arms, which are at the front now, to rise up towards the light. So just inviting that. Good, and then bringing your hands back down. So next, we're going to get in touch with another force, which is that heavenly force above us. So important, equally important, heavenly force that flows downward. And so as you stand now, breathe deeply and imagine another force here, like when you're like the tree that's coming. And we can put our hands up. Let's put them up. Let's put them up and be like this tree. And now you're like a tree that's reaching towards the sun and the stars and the moon and all of the heavenly energies, and invite that energy to flow down. And this is a very beautiful, protected energy of heaven, and it flows down all around you. Flows down the front of the body, the sides of the body, and the back of the body. All of those meridians down the backs of the arms, but also down the whole body, front, back, and sides, flowing down over you, protecting you. And now bring your arms down so you can just get in touch with a feeling of heavenly light, and invite the heavenly light now to pour down over you from the sun, the moon, the stars. And this is the other half of that magnetism between the sun and the planet, and the moon and the planet, that there's a force that keeps our planet in place, and all of the movement of the planet around the sun and the moon around the sun pouring down, and this amazing force. And the force moves through the body, moves through those meridians. So that's your heavenly force. And you are a connector of the heaven and the earth. So the heavenly force above and the earth force rising from below. And you are what connects them. They connect through you. And when you're open, and when all of that is open, and you are totally open to the heavenly force, and when you are totally open to the earthly force, all of your meridians are open and flowing, and you are connected. Let's see, these people come in. There we go. And you are connected here between heaven and earth. And you are in that flow. And that is perfect health. Perfect health is very simple. It's when you're open to the flows of heaven and earth. Good. And so we're going to do a little movement here, which is inviting in, the hands come up, inviting in the energies of the earth, and inviting in the energy of heaven with an inhalation and exhaling, and allowing and seeing these energies move through you, that heavenly energy moving down. It's called pulling down the heavenly energies. When our hands rise up, we are inviting up that earthly flow, and we are becoming these connectors of heaven and earth. So hands slowly come down. Think of that heavenly light pouring down through you. Hands rise up. Think of that earthly energy rising up as you turn your hands and grasp towards that heavenly light. And get into that flow, that movement, feeling yourself like a tree. I'm going to do a few more of these. Knees should be softly bent just a little bit, just to let that energy flow up the legs. That's a nice inhale, exhale. And as you exhale, you can sort of exhale and sink down and feel this connection that earthly energy is moving through you and sinking down to connect into the earth. So rising up. So that earthly energy is happening at a lot of levels, not just at physical level, and that heavenly energy is also happening at many levels. And so as the hands come down, we're just going to pause here, and below your feet are transpersonal points that we like to connect into. So we like to think of that earthly energy as connecting down to nature at the first transpersonal point, which is like a chakra below your feet, probably about 8 or 10 inches down into the earth, and down below that. So that's one level. That's a level that you're close to. That's the instinctual level of the earth energy that you think of as the earth as we know it. Below that is the energy of the elements. And so these are building block energies of the earth, but they're also not so physical. We think of them as building blocks, but they're also precursors. They're energetic building blocks. And so if you go to your acupuncturist, you can hear that your wood element is off, and or your earth element is off, or your fire element is off. And so there's a correlation between actual heat and fire, but there's also an energetic component. So beneath our feet is like a storehouse of these element energies. And beneath that again is the energy of the consciousness of the earth. And so we think of the earth always as a being. And so we think of everything, whether it's a rock, whether it's a plant, whether it's water, everything has energy, and everything is actually a form of consciousness. And so the earth's consciousness we think of as very much like Gaia or Pachamama or whatever words there might be for that, or Mother Mary energy, and that it is very much alive. This very alive energy of the earth. That is the roots of the earth that's coming up to you. So we have the earth working with us at these different levels. And so we have the consciousness, the element energies, those building blocks energies, and also the instinctual energies, the energy of nature, all connecting to us from below. When we think of the energy above us, we like to think of our higher selves, our conscience, our wanting to do the right thing, or wanting to be compassionate and work with people and take our lives on a higher path. Above this, again, these are all about 8 to 10 inches. We have another center here, which is to do with virtue and pure light. So that sort of bounces off these elemental energies. We also have pure light energies above us. And above that, we have the great consciousness of heaven. And these energies coming in. So you don't have to believe in these things. It's just that I want to explain that we have all these, we have the 3 levels above and the 3 levels below. So as we do this, we're not just thinking of a certain one level of energy, we're actually thinking of 3 levels. So let's do this again. And we're also going to do this, turn it into a little exercise that includes nature. So we're going to take nature separately and really embrace nature. And so bringing our hands up, thinking of drawing up the earth. As our hands turn this way, we think of bringing in nature. And this way, bringing in the heavens and bringing the light of heaven down. And think of that now compressing like a bowl right here and gathering energy. And bring our hands to the sides now, really connecting to the earth. Bringing that in. Smiling and exhale. And again, thinking of that energy building up in here, just really welcoming these energies. And again, earth and heaven, and bringing that down into that bowl, hands out, earth, inhale, exhale. Nurturing yourself, we're going to do some more work with John, and we're kind of like getting things wet. And so this time, we're just going to think of nature, embracing that beautiful world around you, and then lifting up to the heavens and bringing all of that down and filling your bowl down here. And again, breathing in from the earth, filling up, filling that bowl. Oh, and you can think of that as like a blue golden energy of the earth, nice colors of earth energy, and nature, always very beautiful and golden. And then the divine energy, white light, also can become purple light, and maybe some red light or pink light as you bring in those heavenly forces down through you. And again, inhale, and really think of nurture, of filling up. And once more, gathering and bringing that down to fill up the bowl here. So you have a nice sense of some energy gathered here. We're just going to take a moment and smile, and just imagine yourself now as a tree, that you're a part of this world. So we have an interesting thing in our culture with nature. We think of that as something other than us. And it's unfortunately because that allows us to divorce ourselves from nature and not feel responsible and connected to the natural world. And so here we're wanting to rebuild that, to transform that so that we are also nature. And so we are also just like a tree, so standing like a tree, roots in the earth, branches in the heavens, that you are a walking tree, that you evolved as nature to move around and to do what humans do, but to do it as a part of nature, not as an overlord of nature, just to really feel that connection, that you also can be rooted to the earth with your branches in the sky. And then we're just going to rub around the belly because that was a yummy little energy meal that we had. And I'm going to roll that in 2 directions. And that just helps to anchor that energy there. Okay, so there we have a little bit of introduction to energies of heaven and earth, kind of yummy. And those of you who are graduates, it's always, nice to see how I was introducing that today for your repertoires. Okay, and so there's people who volunteered to say a little bit about their experience and how even just talking to that. And so I would say I'd invite Dana, who just graduated from the practitioner training and who is planning to moving into the therapist level. So Dana, what can you tell us about your experience with this work?
Well, where to begin? It really has been a completely transformative experience. I came into the program very curious about Qigong as a physical practice. And what I discovered obviously was much, much more. I have like 30 years sort of as a kind of more biomechanical teacher of movement. And I think what this program has done is completely altered my experience in the sense that now I look at everything, not just movement, but as Wendy said, as it's connected to nature and connected to forces that are bigger than just ourselves isolated in our little bubble. So I feel this amazing sense of connectivity, and then the depth of connection to emotions, thoughts, beliefs, and then the whole spiritual aspect that has been, this to me is the surprising part, just kind of unfolding at the more I do the work. I have to say it's just kind of, altered my experience of life. I feel a much, much deeper connection to everything around me and everyone around me, and a deeper connection to myself. So, I can't say enough good about it. And I feel like it's awoken a kind of childlike wonder in me about what is possible. Because sometimes, there's exercises that we've gone into, especially giving treatments, which I was like, oh, I didn't know I'd be doing this. And then I was like, I didn't know I could do this. And discovering a whole other side of myself. So I'm hooked. I want to know more. And I feel like with the practitioner's level, it was just the start. It was a huge chunk to bite off, but I'm so hungry and curious for more. So, and Wendy and John are amazing instructors, and I just feel that the whole experience was very well supported. And thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Oops. We both did that at the same time. Sorry. There we go. Okay, that was lovely. I think Rachel, is it Rachel, John, who can join us now? So Rachel is there she is. She's a master's student.
Hi, everyone. So you just want me to say a couple of words, Wendy? Okay. It's really interesting. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Whether you are with Wendy and John for a minute or a lifetime, they're going to both change and influence you. I actually I do a lot of different modalities. I call myself an integrative career counselor and coach. I put the word integrative in front of starting as a career coach over 10 years ago. And but when I met Wendy, I knew I had to add something else. And I'm at master's level of Qigong, and COVID has slowed us down like it has for a couple of other people on this planet. which is okay. So hopefully we'll graduate next year. If not, oh well, the year after. It's eternal time anniversary.
I'm just going to add to that. The reason that she's saying that is because there's a class that can't possibly be taught online. I refuse to teach it online. So we're all waiting for this very special class. So that's why.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait, Wendy. So all in good time and divine serendipity. And anyway, I just recently am just getting qualified for something called my Master's in Neuro-Linguistic Programming that really dovetails well into all the work that I do. I see myself as an experiential and somatic person who works to heal people. I go in with career, but I have a ninja approach, and it just opens up all the other things that people are holding themselves back with. But it just, people feel safer for some reason doing career talking than personal emotional talking, but I get in there eventually. And one of the ways that I effectively get in there is with Qigong. And I just had to give a modeling assignment a couple of days ago. And of all the modalities that I am involved in and have been growing into my repertoire over the last 10 years, I chose Qigong. And it wasn't purposeful. It was just, okay, you know, it had to be something that I felt masterful at and was deeply meaningful to me, which is, you know, I have that experience about quite a few things. I'm relatively confident about myself. So, but, you know, even though I know there's so much more to learn about Qigong, in just where I am in my practice feels deeply masterful. And it has affected so much of my life. It's been in my life for almost 10 years, starting with my sister, who's a TCM, traditional Chinese medical practitioner and herbalist, acupuncturist in Sydney, exposing me to Qigong. And then I went through a very bad health crisis a couple of years into my practice, and was so depleted I couldn't even do a downward dog in yoga. And I'd always been quite active into doing half marathons and that, which I haven't done for a long time. But anyway, but I've got my Qigong now. But in any case, I really feel with that Qigong, that exposure was a lifeline for me at the time. And when it healed me, and when I met Wendy in 2015, and then went to a channeling class, a spring and a fall, and a week before practitioner was starting in 2017, after putting it off and off and off and having so many roadblocks about finances and time and how am I going to fit this in, but I got a message from my guides in that channeling class that I had to do it and I had to sign up, and it was the next week, and I was going to Australia in November, and I had to just turn my whole life upside down to make it work, and I'm so glad I did. And I could go on, but I'll let someone else talk. So you should do this. Just like, you'll feel when the timing's right. If the timing's not right now, just let it unfold as it needs to unfold. But I just started putting up some of my own videos on I think I've got one Qigong video, but John is the master of all those Qigong videos on YouTube. But I'm bravely like approaching and putting that more out. But I use it in all of my sessions, whether my clients know it or not, at all different levels, because of how amazing it is. So anyway, I love Qigong. I love that you're here. And when you're ready, you'll know how much it's going to affect your life. So thank you, Wendy and John, and all of you, because I can see people here who helped me on my journey. So blessings and love and wonderful chi to you all.
Thank you. Okay, well, thank you so much. Actually, at this point, we're going to have John lead you through some Qigong exercises. So I'm gonna, there we go. Great. So.
Right. Hey everyone, so we're going to give you a little taste of this. Some of you it's going to be very familiar and some it'll be completely new for you. So I want to invite you to a chance to kind of get a sense of the things that you'd be learning through this course and that you can learn in Qigong to support yourself. So I'm going to invite you to find a place to stand. Let me get myself set up here too. We'll find a place to stand. Let your feet be. We're going to find a connection with the earth. So we want to make sure that we're feeling those roots that Wendy was referring to. Get a sense of those roots as you allow your feet to come into a nice parallel position. And we want to make sure that we're receiving this energy. So make sure your knees are bent. Let your spine be nice and upright and just relax your shoulders. Let your arms just kind of hang for a moment here and let your head be kind of like, almost like you're being suspended, being helped by the divine. That beautiful divine energy is pulling you up like a balloon. So just for a few moments here, let's just be aware of this posture. This sense of connecting with that earth chi and with that heavenly chi and inviting our body to be that conduit so that it can flow freely. As Wendy talked about, letting that free flow of yin and the free flow of yang that flows down, let them flow through your body. Let them work with that intention. As we do Qigong, it's not just movements, it's not just breathing, it's also a big part of that is our awareness and bringing in intention, because that will be a huge part of supporting you on a healing path, on a healing journey. So we're going to start with our pulling down the heavens, what we were just playing with earlier with Wendy. So we're going to bring our focus to our palms. You're going to imagine they'll center those palms. That's an acupuncture point. It's called Lao Gong. And we're going to use them as if they're suction cups. Let's imagine grabbing some of that earthly energy. Let's grab some more of that nature. Bring your hands face forward. Let them face up and let's grab some of that beautiful heavenly energy. And let's wash down the front of the body. Cleansing over your face and your chest. Just get a sense of releasing any tension you're holding in your body. Let it just flow down and send it into the earth. And let's do that again. Grab some more energy from earth. As we breathe in, grab that nature. Grab the beautiful divine energy from above. Same movement, but this time imagine it flowing down the back of your body. Get a sense of cleansing off the back of your head and your neck. Cleanse off that spine and back. Release any tension from the buttocks and the backs of the legs and all the way down to the earth. Breathing in one more time, grab some energy from earth, from nature, and from the beautiful heavenly energies of the divine. Open your crown and get a sense of flushing through the brain. Let's clear out those thoughts. Let's clear out the judgments. Let's just be here for a moment. Help your throat, cleanse out the chest and the abdomen and the pelvis and the legs through the feet. And just send that into the earth as well. Good, and then let your hands come back to your sides. And I want to introduce to you now a wonderful exercise with a really long name. It's called the Old Man Searching for the Reflection of the Moon in the Bottom of the Tide Pool. We call it the Old Man for short in class because it's a long name. And so we're going to work with sound, and sound is a wonderful way to clear out stuck energy. And we have something called 6 healing sounds, but we're going to focus on the 3 sounds that are used in this exercise. And they happen to be really good for this time of year. So the sounds we're going to focus on are the sounds for the lungs. And that sound is a bunch of S's, sounds like a steaming pot. You just clench your teeth together and go, tss, almost like a little hiss. Tss. That's to clear out heaviness in the lungs. Some grief or sadness or depressive, anything that kind of creates a heaviness here. Maybe you're feeling like it's the fall's coming, that you might be feeling like some congestion coming. We want to clear that out. And then we can move into the energy of the heart. And that sound is the sound of ha, like laughter, but we do it as a sigh for this exercise. So it's ha. And that's to release any heaviness, any burdens in the heart, any stress or anxiety. And then we're going to move to the sound that's associated with the spleen, but in this exercise, it actually works with the whole digestive system and the whole abdominal area. And that sound for the spleen is who, like who are you? The question word. So who. So using these sounds, we begin to move energy that's stuck in the organs. And as you do so, you start to bring in a sense of support and vitality so that these energies that we referred to from earth and sky can begin to flow a little more freely through your body. So this happens to be a great exercise if anyone has an issue with insomnia. So it's a really good one to do in the evening before you go to bed. So it starts with the sound for the lungs, our S sound. And we're going to begin, like the old man, we're going to look in the tide pool here. So we're going to splash around on the earth here. So I'm going to invite you to breathe in, bend at the waist, bend your knees, and make the sound for the lungs. Until they're empty, and then bend the knees, tuck the tailbone, and roll up your spine. Lift your arms above your head, and then make a soft fist like you're holding something you don't want to hurt, and help the heart sound here. Pull your hands in to help the spleen. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, pull down. Let go of stress. Let go of worry. Inhale. And let's go back to the earth. Releasing any sadness, heaviness in the lungs. And then breathing in as you roll back up the spine, coming back to an upright position. Make a soft fist, pull down. Pull in. Inhale. Get a sense of focusing on these beautiful organs. For the heart. For your abdomen. And now let's help the lungs again. And then breathing in as you roll up the spine, one vertebra at a time, nice and slow. Let the blood come up with you and help your heart. Get a sense of releasing tension from your body. And again. And a couple more times. Letting go of that heaviness in the lungs. Breathing in as we roll up. Move your focus to your heart and the abdomen. Inhale. And again. And let's do one more here, down to the earth. And bend the knees, tuck the tailbone, roll up the spine as you inhale. Soft fist. And again. inviting a sense of relaxation into these organs here. Ooh. Let your hands drop down. Just take a moment just to check in with that resonance from the sound. Get a sense of how that feels in your body. It might feel a little different than you did when you started. Start to move chi, move chi. All right, and now let's focus a little bit on the channels. Wendy was talking about all the yin channels that flow up from Mother Earth. They flow up the body. And then we have these beautiful yang channels that flow down the body. Okay, so we're going to do something called dredging the channels. And we're going to start at the earth. So I'm going to invite you to bend over. Bring your focus to your big toe. And let's rub along the inside of your foot. Begin to flow up and rub along the inside of the calf and the knee. These are the inner channels. These are the yin channels. Up the inner thighs, up the front of your pelvis, front of the torso, through the chest area. Take your thumbs, put them in your armpits. You're going to have to cross your arms to do that. And then come across the insides of the arms and across your palms and just throw away any tension you might be feeling in those channels. Good, let's do the yang channels now. Backs of the hands, rub up the back sides of the arms, get your elbows, come up the backs of your arms to your shoulders, bring your hands back to each side, and then rub along the side of the face, top and back of the head and the neck, tops of the shoulders, and then bring your hands around, of course, working with your own dexterity. Back and side of the body will begin to flow down the side of the torso, side of the pelvis, side of the legs, all the way down to your little toe, and then throw that away. Good, let's do that again. Breathing in, let's grab some energy, pull up through the foot, up the inside of the legs, up through the front of the pelvis and torso. Thumbs in the armpits, do the underside of your arms across the palms and release it. And let's gather any energy that's stuck in the yang channels, backs of the hands, elbows, shoulders, side of the head, back of the head and neck, side of the torso, back, side and back of the hips, of the legs, all the way down to your little toe and release it. And breathing in as we go up the inside of the foot, inside of the legs, up the front of your body. Put those thumbs in your armpits and get the underside of the arms and releasing the tension. Let's imagine grabbing from the backs of the hands. Get those elbows as you inhale. Side and back of the head and neck. Begin your exhales. We go down the side and back of the torso, pelvis, legs, all the way down to your little toes. Throw it away. And inhale. Let's do the yin channels again as we go up. Gathering it in your hands, pulling it off the palms and release it. Let's do the same with our yang channels. Shoulders, side and back of the head. Let's get the torso as we begin the exhale and just begin to flow down the side and back of your legs. Finish the exhale to release. And one more time, inhale. Up those yin channels. Front of the pelvis, front of the torso, undersides of the arms, and release it. Great, let's do the yang channels one more time. Backs of the hands, elbows, shoulders. Nice breath in as we gather all this toxic energy, and let's rub down the side of the torso, pelvis, legs, little toe, and release it. And then slowly and gently just roll up your spine, one vertebra at a time, to find your way back up to a standing posture. Take a moment just to allow everything to realign here. Let the blood flow back up into the head if you're feeling lightheaded. And bring your feet a little closer together. Take a moment to bring your focus into your bones. We're going to focus on the bones for a moment. So this beautiful skeletal structure here. And we're going to do a little exercise to help bring some more vitality into your bones. And at the same time, it's dropping down any tension that's in the body. It's called dropping post. So I'm going to invite you to lift and drop your heels. So you're just going to let everything just kind of resonate from that bouncing. It's going to resonate through your bones all the way to the crown of your head. Let your arms and shoulders shake. Just feel that resonance go through the bones, which helps strengthen the bones. They actually get stronger when you create resonance like this, when you create this bouncing. At the same time, it's bringing more vitality to your bone marrow. And the other side effect, another good thing too, is it's draining out any tension. It's just shaking it away. And if you find that a little bit too difficult, you can leave your heels on the ground and just do a little knee bounce. But otherwise, I invite you to just bounce away here. It's a great exercise to build strength. Build stamina here in the bones and in your overall health. And breathing out through the mouth. Just get a sense of feeling where you might be holding any tension. And just inviting that to be released. And a few more moments of this. Then begin to slow it down. Slow it down. And pause. And then I'm going to invite you to take a breath in and rise up on your toes like a rocket shooting into the air. This is to realign the bones and bounce. Release any remaining tension here. Let's do that again. That's called stacking the bones. So we breathe in and we rise up. And we exhale. Good. And once again, breathing in, rising up. And release. Good. Now let's just take a few more moments. And just get a sense of where you might be holding. Now that we've done it once, just see where you might want to bring a little more focus. Start to play with that idea of focusing. Where are you holding the tension? Maybe you got to give a little extra movement into that shoulder that you've been holding a lot of tension in. Maybe there's something in the head and neck and you want to let your head bob a little bit more. Maybe you're feeling it in your lower back. You just want to see if you can invite that to just release a little bit more. So just for another few moments here, just getting a sense of inviting in a chance for something to shift here. Everything starts with that intention. That thought and that intention is the beginning of, and that awareness is the beginning of that chance for things to shift and be more supportive for you. All right, and then begin to slow it down again. Slow it down and just take a moment just to flick away. Just flick away any tension that's kind of there. All right, good. And now let's bring our feet back out to about shoulder width. And when I say shoulder width, I'm always talking about my big toe. So it usually looks wider than you would imagine, just so you feel that you're nice and stable. Whatever stance gives you a nice, stable sense of stability here. And then we're going to bring our focus more superficially. We were working with the bones, and now let's think of the nerves and the fascia, all that connective tissue that holds everything in place, and your skin. So we'll just bring our focus a little bit more outward, and let's help that area as well. And we're going to do something called Trembling Horse. So let's just begin to shake your hands and wrists, and then move that shaking and that pulsation up to your elbows, and then move it up to your shoulders. And now let's begin to shake from your head all the way to your feet, releasing that all the way into the earth. Great, so let's breathe in, shake those hands, shake those elbows, shake those shoulders, and release it from your head. Down to your feet. You get a few extra bonus karmic points if you can make a horse sound. It's called Trembling Horse. So breathing in and go up your arms and exhale. Super. Great one to release things, especially if it's acute. It just happened in your body. Before it can go deep and cause a lot of trauma to the body, it's a great thing to do is just do a little shake. Every animal on the planet does it. So it's a great one for us to bring into our daily life. So once again, you're breathing in as you shake those joints of the arms all the way to the shoulders, and you exhale down the body to the earth. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in. Good. And just pause for a moment and feel that buzzing in your arms. Feel that buzzing in your body. That's your chi, that's your life force coming really into a point of a strong awareness for you. We've activated the chi and we're starting to get things moving here. So let's clear away anything that's kind of still hanging in the field with our pulling down the heavens. So we're going to bring back to our palm points. So let your hands be down here and let's take a breath in. Gather from earth, nature, and the divine. And as we exhale, give a sense of cleansing down the front of your body. Anything that we've released into our field, we're going to release it into the earth now. And breathe in. Gathering earth, grabbing the nature, grabbing the beautiful heavenly energies, same movement, but bring your focus to the back of your body. Cleansing and clearing all the way into the earth. Lovely, everyone. And once again, bring your focus to your crown. Imagine opening up and this energy flowing in through the brain, to the sense organs, cleansing through the throat and the chest and the abdomen, your pelvis and your legs, and release any toxicity down into the earth. Good. And then bring your tongue behind the upper front teeth. We're going to close the mouth and we're going to do a few exercises with just breathing with the nose. Just try a few exercises here. I'm going to invite you to just get a sense of your breath. Breath is so huge in our, especially in our culture right now, when a lot of people don't do it correctly. They're stuck in here because there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of working at computers where we get stuck in this heavy chest breathing and we're not breathing fully into the body and inviting that energy and that chi to flow into the organs. So we will do a lot more of that in the course, but I wanted to just kind of introduce, just for a few moments here, a sense of breathing here. So bring your hands to your navel, let them rest one on top of the other. And just get a sense if you can feel some movement here. As you're breathing, long, slow, deep breath in and out through the nose. Just get a sense if you can feel some expansion on the inhalation and relaxation on the exhalation. And no judgment here. It's not like I'm not doing it right or anything like that. Just letting that go. Just basically, we're just doing a checkup. We're just seeing what can happen here. So just a few more moments of that. So as you breathe, we want to invite in, and if you've ever watched a little baby, a little baby that's lying down, the little belly just goes up and down, and that's the way that we want to be breathing again. They're not into the level of thoughts and stuck in their head yet, so they still are in their body quite a bit. So we want to bring ourselves back into this nice deep breath. So we're going to practice an exercise that uses that breath. So bring your hands down by your sides. So breathing with the nose, let your knees be nice and bent here. Let's take a breath in and bring your hands up to your shoulders. And exhale, let them come back to your hips. So let's breathe in and out. So get a sense as if as you're doing this, that there's almost like you're standing in a swimming pool. So we're breathing in, so there's a little bit of resistance here. So your arms aren't just floating up and down. There's a little bit of resistance. You have to go through the water. Air is a little bit more consistency like water. So we breathe in to pull in the energy into our abdomen. And then as we exhale, we let the abdomen relax. So we're expanding and relaxing, just like we did earlier with our hands there. So now we're doing this exercise we call beating and drumming the chi. We're trying to get some energy flowing through our digestive system. So we breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So this simple movement. There's a lot more to this, but we'll just get it at this level right now. Just get a sense of pulling energy in and then letting it relax a little bit. So you're expanding and relaxing, pumping the belly here. Fill it up. Deep breathing practice. If you can do that every day, a focused breathing practice, it's a wonderful way to really shift the energy in your body and start to bring in more of that healing energy and move through any blocked energy. And of course, our digestion is so important for health and vitality that this exercise is considered one of the best ones in Chinese medicine to do. And we'll do 3 more. Inhale and exhale. And last time. Good. And then just bring your hands back to your navel and take a few deep breaths here. Just get a sense of how, maybe it's a little bit easier now. Just breathing, expanding, and relaxing. Good. And let's imagine all that energy we breathed into there forming into a ball now. Imagine that forming into a ball. And imagine that ball compressing down to the size of a pearl. Get a sense of that energy compressing into a pearl, a powerful pearl of light. And on your next exhale, imagine that pearl dropping down to the area between your legs. It's called the perineum. Bring your hands down, and let's inhale, and let's imagine we're guiding that pearl up your spine. Pull it all the way up your spine and all the way to the crown of your head. And now, as if you're combing a beard, you're going to bring it right down the middle of the front of the body. And we're going to create a little orbit in the body. It's called the Microcosmic Orbit. And we're going to breathe in and pull it up the back. Imagine guiding it with your fingers, guiding it with your breath, guiding it with your awareness, pulling it down the front. Be sure your tongue's behind the upper front teeth so we don't lose that pearl. Don't lose it through the mouth here. And we'll just guide it through this orbit. Inhale up the back. Exhale down the front. And I'll give you side view. So I'm going up, fingers towards the body, and then a little way. So I'm creating a little circle here. Inhale and exhale. Just let your awareness follow that pearl up the back, down the front as best you can. A little easier to feel in the back. It's a little more diffuse in the front, but doing your best, just kind of play with that. It's like your pearl's just like a little orbit, little star going around in orbit here. Inhale up, exhale down. And let's do 3 more. Breathing in, and out. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly finishing up as we bring that pearl and place it in your Dan Chen, which is your reservoir here right beneath the navel. It's our storage area for chi here. We want to fill it up. Let that pearl come back in. As you breathe, once again, that deep abdominal breathing again. Very focused breath. And we're going to finish with just a few of an exercise called golden ball. So bring your hands down. And we're going to breathe in, bring your hands together and imagine creating a golden ball of light. Exhale, bring it up in front of your heart. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, push it back together. Inhale, bring it close to your heart. And then exhale, push it away from your heart. Inhale, press it to the floor. Exhale, release it. Good. So we'll breathe in, we'll gather some chi, create a golden ball. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, push it back together. Inhale, bring it close. Exhale, push it away. Inhale, press it down. Exhale, release. Good. And we'll breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Nice deep breathing in and out through the nose. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And a couple more. Inhale. Expansion. Exhale. Contraction. Inhale. Close. Exhale away. Inhale and exhale. So we're working with different actions of chi. We begin by gathering, and then we lift, and then we can expand chi, and we can also contract chi. We can bring chi close. We can push it away. We can press it down, and we can also release chi. So we'll do one last time. Here we go. Inhale, gather the ball. Exhale, lift. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, push it back together. Inhale, bring it close. Exhale, push it away. Inhale, press it down. Exhale, release. And once again, bring your hands to your navel. And bring your focus to your breathing. Letting all the energy we've worked with today, let it settle here. Sense of filling yourself up. Each breath adding a little more. Letting yourself receive energy up through your roots from the earth, that yin energy, letting it flow down from the divine. The yang energy coming in to the center. And then let's lock that in with 9 rotations. 9 circles around the navel in one direction and 9 more in the opposite. Pause there. Good. And then I'm going to rub the hands. Place that over the eyes. Just take in some energy from your hands into your eyes, into the optic nerves, into the brain. Down the spine as you exhale. Getting a sense of warming up your insides a little bit more here. As you breathe. And then a little wash of the face from the chin to the forehead. On the inhale, down over your ears as you exhale. Get a little activation of chi in your face here. Washing away any tension. Good. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. And then we're going to take our 10 fingers called the 10 dragons. I'm going to run them through the forest. Cleaning off the side, top, and back of the head and the neck. releasing any excess heat or tension from the head. And then give yourself a little brush off your shoulder and just brush down the arms, just to your wrist here. And a little brush down the other arm from the shoulder down to the wrist. And then a little brush off your chest. Brush off the lower back and the buttocks. And a little brush off your legs as far as you can go. And then brush off your hands when you're finished with all that and roll up one vertebra at a time to your right up the spine to back to upright, taking your time. I'm going to invite you just to take a moment, just to bring your awareness to your heart, just to finish. Let your hands rest on your heart. And just say thank you to yourself. Put a little love and gratitude into your heart for giving yourself a little extra chi here, for helping your healing journey just a little bit more. And for all that you do outside of this, that you're doing to help keep yourself healthy, strong, and safe. We can get in the negative thought process very easily. So it's nice to take a moment just to give yourself love and gratitude for all that you're doing. Great. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, well, thank you, John, for that was a wonderful way to start the day today. Really appreciate that. So, yeah, Dana and Rachel, we have a chat here, but they did have to go, and apparently Tanya had to go too. So I'm going to invite you to put in any questions you might have about what we've done so far into the chat, or also we could have we have a little Q&A right now. So we'll answer a few questions, and we'll answer more questions later, but invite you to ask, or you can put your hand up or wave or something like that to let us know that you might have some questions. We're going to, of course, be addressing more as we go along. Seems like everybody's feeling pretty good at this point. Okay, so Jennifer has a question here. I seem to feel lightheaded as we did the breathing exercises. Is that because I'm not used to breathing? Yes, John, would you like to answer that?
Yes, that can happen. That's okay. Then I just invite you to slow the process down a little bit. It might be just the body's getting used to taking in more air, more oxygen. We have a big muscle here. It's called the diaphragm, and that when we do that, we're really working that muscle. And there's some exercises we'll teach you in the class on how to get that a little bit better and support that. So it's going to be a little easier for you and less lightheadedness. But yeah, that's a big, when I started this too, I got lightheaded. So I know what you're talking about.
Yes, and I want to mention, for those who have to leave, let us know if you'd like to get the recording of the rest of the day, because we are sending those out to people as well, and to the links, or just to make sure that we have your email, and we will do that. So yes, just what John's saying, it's one of the great gifts to your health is to learn to breathe deeply. When you breathe deeply, you cut down on all those stress hormones that your body is used to, and you just start to absorb. And we consider it in this work to be one of the foundations of your health. And so just knowing that, you're actually going to change your health by the practice of breathing deeply. So that's that's extremely important. You're breathing deeply, as John says. Your body's going to learn how to really relearn how to release the carbon dioxide and all the other toxins out with the breath, and to be able to fill your body with oxygen and all the other positive energies that come in with the breath as well. So
yeah, like your immune system comes back online, like your digestion gets much better. I mean, breath is just so huge. And I also saw Jennifer wrote, and the mind chatter and impatience, she added later. And yeah, that's okay. That's the first step of anything is noticing it. So that's good. That's a huge step, is starting to notice that. Then you can invite in some things to shift and invite in possibilities. So it's just about that's why I said, letting the judgment go and just being with the breath and just saying, what is it like today? Because I have days where my breath is like stuck up here because I'm having a tense day. So then I invite myself to go, whoa, wait a minute. I got to bring it back down. It needs to be here if I'm going to really be productive. So it's a good process for everyone. Yeah.
Yes. In fact, at the therapist level, we're going to be spending quite a bit of time working on breath practices. So breath is chi, is energy. And then, of course, Qi is the foundation of Chinese medicine. And we do a lot of Qigong practice, which is Qi exercises, Qi practices. And so Qi also equals breath. So these are all so completely linked together. And someone was asking about, is it best to do this on an empty stomach? And, yes, it is, because it's on with our stomachs full, it's harder to get that deep breath. And so the less that you have eaten before, often the better to do these practices. But on the other hand, we also do some practices that help the digestion and all of that work. And the breathing practice that John had us do this morning leads into a practice that really works on what we call the yang organs, which are the digestive organs. They're a lot more than that, but they're also the digestive organs. And so these deep breathing practices are really good for the digestion, because they get that chi in that lower part of the body where digestion is going on. And so it's not like this is bad for your digestion. All this work is actually extremely good for your digestion. But the little space after eating is also recommended. So if you had a big breakfast this morning, then it's okay to slow down, or depending on where you live, you may have just had a late lunch or brunch. So
yeah, right. I find Qigong really good to do before I eat breakfast. That's just how I do my practice, just as if anyone's interested, that I find really good. And then it helps me have a good practice, as opposed to having a big breakfast and then doing it. It's just easier. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And we have to find how those things fit into our day. But as you fit those things into your day, you'll find your day goes better. You have more energy. And so you actually don't, the kind of practices actually don't take away from your time. They actually make the rest of the time in your day go better. So you are more present with everything that you're doing. You have more energy for everything that you're doing in your day. So, yes.
Does anyone else have any questions that you want to put in the chat, or you can always let us know, and you can just come, and if you want to be vocal, you can be vocal.
Yep.
This world of online, it's okay to be vocal. We get so caught up in this non-speaking stuff, so we're all muted. So it's really nice for you to feel free to that.
Okay, well, I guess that means I got a green light to move into a meditation. And we call this our 1 through 4 meditation, where we go through the body. And so one of the big focuses also in this work is to bring consciousness into the body. We tend to live in a world where people are in their heads, and they believe that who they are is up here. It's not down here. So there's this belief that I am my name. I am this person who does this and that. And I have a body which I look at from the outside, and sometimes just want to dress and don't even want to look at from the outside, and don't even ask me to consider what's inside of this body, because I'm terrified, because I've been scared by, medicine that I may have, it's like, it's a time bomb in there. And there's no reason at any moment it might explode into cancer or some other deadly thing. And so I don't want to think about what's inside of my body. That's a scary place. So, so a lot of this practice is to bring consciousness into the body. So a person becomes embodied. Consciousness in body is embodied. So we're working on bringing in this idea of embodiment, and consciousness is your spirit. And your spirit isn't meant to just be up here in your head. Your spirit is actually meant to be down here through the body, inhabiting your whole body. And so one of the big focuses here is absolutely doing this, is absolutely getting more into the body. And I just want to say that, no, we'll answer that question afterwards. Okay. So embodying. And so this practice of meditation is one of our first fundamental aspects of bringing someone into the body, into having an in-body experience. People in our society are very often, the spirit is literally not in the heart. It's kind of floating around out here, and people do things. People take so many people, huge number of our population is living on pharmaceuticals. Very hard to be embodied when you are taking pharmaceuticals. It's one of the things that kind of knock you out of your body. And there's all different kinds of pharmaceuticals. So this is like get into the body experience. So it's pharmaceuticals that do this. Fear does this. As soon as you get into a constant fear, you're not in your body. PTSD does this. I mean, it can go on and on. Constant stress does this. And when there's not in the body, that means you're not in your heart. And when the consciousness is not in your heart, that is what we would say in Chinese medicine, is that the emperor isn't at home. And the emperor is the conductor of the orchestra of the body. And so we're trying to find harmony of the body, wellness, peace inside of the body. And if your Shen isn't here, it's not possible. And so we have so much work to do bringing the Shen back into our bodies, but also, it's training is about teaching you to help others to bring their Shen back into the body, whether it is through practices, whether it's through teaching seminars or weekends or, sessions. All of that's designed. It's about bringing the spirit home, and bringing the spirit home brings you peace and well-being. And so we're very focused on getting people back into that centeredness, that embodiment, and that place where the rhythm keeper, the conductor, is able to conduct the orchestra that's within the body, which then goes out into the fields around your body. So what's in here also reverberates out into here. And we have fields of consciousness around us. You could think of them as magnetic fields, but we consider to be the physical, the emotional field, the mental field, the spiritual field. And so what resonates in here is also all around us and connects us to everything. It connects us to life, connects us to nature. And that resonance comes back in, and it becomes one thing, becomes a continuum, and you become connected to the earth. And that's what's really important, is to really begin to live in a place of full connectivity to the earth. Okay, and so this first meditation is about that. I'm thinking I need to give a 2-minute pee break here. And so let's just take 2 minutes, and I'm going to start the meditation. So it's not a longer break, but I just want to give you 2 minutes, because I feel like some people are like, oh, can I get through a whole meditation? I want everyone to be comfortable to get through this meditation. So just a quick run to the bathroom.
Little water in, water out moment.
Water in, water out moment. Yeah. Okay, that's a good question that Noah has. We'll get to talk about that later. John, can you let me know when people are back in? Nope. He's not back. Okay. Okay, so okay, so as you come back to your seats, you're just going to want to find a nice position. We like to do our meditations with our feet flat on the ground. If you are a meditation pro, you are welcome to also to stand in a standing meditation posture. Or if you really like to, you can also sit cross-legged for a meditation. We want the spine to be erect and we want you to be comfortable. Okay, so here we go. Oh, before we start meditations, if you're not familiar and you haven't done some of my classes, and many of you I know haven't done my classes, my meditations are always led by my guides, and so you'll find these are guided meditation, but they're also guided from the guides' meditations, and so my voice changes a little bit. And the thing with them being guided meditations from the guides is that they are also connecting with you very personally. And so you will have a stronger experience of energy, and there'll be more of an energetic transmission that happens than if I was doing this as the personality of Wendy here. So you'll get extra benefit for sure from the guided meditations, and this goes through all of the classes that you start to become familiar, and you start to become familiar with them working with you, and they're very high beings of light. So it's all very, very beautiful. Okay, here we go. Good and welcome. And we're very pleased today to get to interact with so many of you. And of course, with so many that we are familiar with, and also those who are new to this class. And yet we would say that you are not new to us. You are here for a reason. And we're very happy to make this connection and to be working with each and every one of you that is present at this time. And also we will add to that to all of those who will be listening to this in the future. And we are connecting to all of you as well. And we have you in our consciousness and our awareness as we are doing this meditation. Good. And so breathing deeply. And feeling that expansion and contraction as you learned earlier, that deep breath that goes down into the base of the body. Smiling as you breathe, for indeed your smiling changes the quality of the energy, and it allows us more access because you are bringing in more light. And if you just take a moment and you let your corners of your mouth sag down, You can feel that the energy gets more shadowy and cut off. And yet as you smile, you are welcoming the light. And so smiling, as you breathe, becoming aware of the power of the breath connecting you to the space around you. And so we would say that that is on one level, that as you breathe in and out and follow that breath in and out, you can see that what is outside becomes what is inside, and what is outside and around you creates life inside, and that you cannot go hardly any time at all without that connection. And we would suggest to you that just like everything else, that space around you is, as you know it, it is full of air, is full of oxygen and many other qualities of what would be called gases by the science of your world. And as it comes in, that this is an exchange of gases, and yet we're going to call it much more than that, because it is not just a physical exchange. We want to bring to your awareness that it is much more, that it is an energetic exchange. And in this energetic exchange, there is life force. We would call that life force. Life force around you becomes life force within you. And that this is an intelligent life force. It is a life force that knows what you need. And so breathing in this life force is healing. It gives you exactly what you need. And so the breath is always connected to healing, and deep breath to deep healing. And then we would take this to the spiritual level. And we would say that at the spiritual level, this is your soul or spirit that is nourished each time that you breathe, and it brings that spirit into the body, and that you are connected to spirit that is all around you, and that you are part of a great consciousness. And as you breathe in, it is a particular aspect of that great consciousness, which you know as you, which comes and fuses into the body each time you breathe in. And as you exhale, there is a returning of that consciousness and a release. And then as you breathe in again, there is a renewal. There is a cycle here of very small birth and death, a being born, a letting go, a filling, a releasing. And so the breath is very powerful. And as you know, if you stop breathing, then the spirit, your spirit, loses its connection to the body very quickly. That is the power of the breath and the smile. And we're going to bring your awareness above you to the wonderful beings of light who are here always to help nourish your connection to the earth and help to nourish the body. And these are golden beings. And these golden beings of light, and indeed, gold is a very wonderful color of light. It's a very healing color, and they are beginning to pour this light down on you. It is a golden white light. It is outside of your normal color range, and so it is not so visible, but as you imagine it, so it is. Or if you intend it, you don't have to see it, you can just intend it. And these meditations are powerful through intention. And so if you intend to allow these beings to pour this light on you, then their light will pour down on you. And it is just that welcoming, that smile that allows this to happen. And this light now pouring down on top of your head, and it's going to pour down the front of the body. And you at the same time may feel it pouring down the back and the sides of the body. It is that heavenly flow of energy, very, very protective, coming down the front and welcoming it as it does down your face and neck and chest and arms, torso, all the way to your feet, and pouring down the sides of the body and the back of the body, around the ears, down the ears, the back of the head and the neck and the shoulders, the sides of the arms, the back, the spine, the buttocks, backs of the legs, outsides of the legs, all the way down to your feet. And more of this beautiful golden light now coming to the crown of the head, and now opening up, smiling and inviting the top of your head to open just at that upper chakra, just the top of the head, like a funnel that allows this light now to pour in and awaken and enlighten and illuminate the inside of the skull. So first of all, filling into the brain, the left hemisphere of the brain, and letting that be filled with this golden light of healing. It's wonderful light, great consciousness in it to heal the brain, the power of healing the brain, and moving into the left hemisphere and healing the left hemisphere of the brain, and using your intention and your awareness to see how much you can experience this, bringing this golden light down into the cerebellum, the old brain, towards the back of the skull, letting that also be healed with this golden light, bringing the light, inviting the light into the glands of the brain, the pineal, the pituitary, thalamus, and hypothalamus glands, letting it illuminate also the brain stem, letting it fill your eyes, your optic nerves, your whole visual cortex, filling with beautiful golden healing light. Very powerful light. This light has the power to heal. So open yourself to the healing this light brings. Can heal the ears and the inner ears, welcoming it here, welcoming it into all of your sinus cavities. So that this healing light moves through the sinuses and illuminates them. And then into the nasal passages, into the mouth, the gums, the teeth, bringing healing light down through the throat. And following that down to the base of the neck, letting the light fill the thyroid gland and bring balance and peace to your thyroid, and down into the thymus gland behind your breastbone, enhancing your immune system and your T cells, letting this light pour into the heart and illuminate your heart. And smile to your heart and appreciate your heart. And invite your spirit into your heart. Just take a nice deep breath and invite the spirit, the rhythm keeper, the conductor of the orchestra of the body, to be in your heart. Bringing golden light up into your lungs. And as this golden light fills your lungs, taking a nice breath, and letting go of any old stuffy energy, any sadness that could have been captured in your lungs. Letting your lungs become filled with this healing light. Letting the healing light continue down now into the liver on the right side. And the liver starting to illuminate with this beautiful golden light. Liver, a large, very intelligent organ. And giving some appreciation to your liver. And taking some deep breaths, as if you could breathe into the liver and let go of any stagnant energy here, any repressed anger, that might be stuck. And so that energy feels fresh and alive in the liver. The golden light is able to move fully through your liver. And again, it can be visualization, it can be body consciousness, it can be intention, however you are able to follow this meditation. And then bringing your awareness from the liver to the spleen and the pancreas, which are on the left side of the center of the body. The spleen being a little bit below the rib cage on the left, and the pancreas being more towards center, below that, and below and beside the stomach. And so breathing in, letting this golden light, welcoming the golden light into this area, the spleen. These organs are also elemental organs, and this is your earth organ. So as we breathe in here, you're helping your earth energy and your groundedness. And this is where we store worry, our lack of faith in the earth. So as you breathe in, invite this golden light, which is actually the color here of this organ system, and exhale, allowing any worry to be released. Good. And then coming back with the golden light now back literally to the kidneys, the back, the waist, one on either side. And smiling and opening up the kidneys to the beautiful golden light. With each breath, allowing more energy to fill the kidneys. And as you exhale, letting go of any fear. Fear settles into this area. It's at the back. And it's really in charge of that area where we are afraid of things sneaking up behind us. Being sort of side-swiped in life or caught unawares. So breathing in and releasing whatever might be stuck so that the kidneys become really more filled with golden light. You may experience it as tingling there, or you may just be using your intention, or you may be able to feel like you can really come and be in your kidneys. And the more you practice this, the more you'll actually be able to bring consciousness into the body and be able to connect more deeply and experience your organ systems. And the inner parts of your body will no longer be a mystery to you. Good. And then bringing awareness into the stomach and this golden light into the stomach. And we're going to move through the digestive system. And so smiling and welcoming this golden light into what we would call the yang organs of the body, the digestive organs of the body, and coming through the stomach, and golden light connecting into your gallbladder, golden light healing these areas, remembering like a little Tinkerbell, that gallbladder, and remembering as we go through, bringing this golden light healing energy through the small intestine, which is very important for absorbing the nutrition that we take in, bringing this golden light into the colon down the lower right-hand corner, and bringing that through the colon, which has an aspect to it that is to do with being able to take in and also to let go, and the balance between holding on in life and letting go, and bringing that golden light through the colon, up the ascending on your right side, across the transverse, and down the ascending colon on the left, and back to the rectum. And smiling now to all of those digestive organs, and bringing your bladder into awareness also, and smiling into and bringing that beautiful golden light into the bladder, blessing the bladder, and blessing your reproductive organs, which also hold very powerful energies for the body. So breathing into the reproductive system of the body, blessing the whole body. And as we bless the whole body, we want to think of the connective tissue of the body. And so the body has connective tissue that connects to tendons and ligaments, and the fascia that's around all of the muscles, and bringing this golden light now out from these internal organ systems, now out into all of these connective tissues, into tendons, ligaments, muscles of the body, and thinking that all the way down through your legs, and going out from there into the fleshy aspects of the body, into the flesh, into the fat tissues, loving it all with this golden light, healing everything right out to the skin and to all of the hair on the body, and unto even those little body hairs that can stand up on your arms, just letting that radiate outward and letting your radiance go out even off the body a little bit, and coming back in now into your bones, letting this golden light now light up your bones and deep into the center of the bones, into the bone marrow. Very, very important that we bring healing into the bone marrow. And take a nice breath and really feeling now, like as if you could draw this energy into your bones. Golden light filling your bones, and then exhale and seeing this light going out beyond your bones, out again, filling your body out beyond your skin, out into the layers of the physical energy that surrounds you, like your auric fields and those other energy fields, right out into the fields around you, so that you're a nice glowing ball. And then seeing a nice energy surrounding that ball. And so I'm inviting the guides to make a nice bubble of energy that holds your field now from the work that we've done today, nice and strong and contained in this energetic field. Good, and we thank you. We're going to have you bring your palms back to the navel and breathe in here at the area of the navel. And we're going to gather there. You're going to, again, as John showed you earlier, to move the hands in a rotation 9 times in each direction. And then I invite you just to pause and to breathe and just feel your body right now. We invite you to just feel the space that you're in and feel that connection from above, this golden light, this heavenly light, and also feel your connection right down to your feet and down into the earth. And to feel yourself centered in your heart, and to bring your hands now back to your heart. And appreciate yourself for being here, for being present, for doing this work. And knowing yourself to be a being that is more than just a person, more than this lifetime, that you are something quite beyond this. You are a citizen of the universe, and you are the face of the divine in human form, being this connection between heaven and earth. And that by being here today, you have become a little bit more of your true self. And so we are most grateful to you for your presence, and we thank you. Okay. And John, did you want to give a couple of standing minutes to sort of round up our practice for today.
Okay. A little bit more of Guang Gong, perhaps.
Yeah.
Right.
Finish it up for the day. The practice part. We'll have another finish at the very end, but we'll have a finish of the practice part because we're going to be coming into question and answer time. More talk.
All right. Let me move my chair out of the way here. All right, everyone. So coming back to standing posture, let your feet come about shoulder width apart. Let's just take a moment to feel that connection of all the stuff we've done, this beautiful meditation that just supported all of your organs, all your muscles, bones, tendons, nerves, the whole body at all levels, physically and energetically and spiritually, as we sent it out beyond the body. Just taking a moment just to be with that in this standing posture. Knees bent, spine long. More nice deep breaths here. Bring awareness back to your breath as you breathe with the nose only. Let your tongue rest behind the upper front teeth. Close the mouth. Honoring of the self here. And then bring your hands to your navel. Just take a moment just to let that get a sense of filling yourself up even more. As you breathe, a little bit, do a couple more rounds of a Guang Gong strokes beard. So we're going to get a sense of that energy coming together into a ball, into a pearl. Pearl being powerful because now we've added even more energy through the meditation. Get a sense of that pearl dropping down to your perineum. And let's breathe in and let's open up that microcosmic orbit, that energy up the spine. Exhale, bring it down the front. Just notice how this might be different from the previous time. Get a sense of as you breathe in, it flows up the back. Exhale, down the front. Now that we've done this meditation, you might have a little bit more internal focus. And smile. Getting a sense of honoring yourself here as we go up the back, down the front. Gathering all the energy we've worked with today and bringing that through this orbit. Fill your lower Dan Shen, that lower reservoir here beneath the navel. We'll do 3 more. Inhaling, bringing it up the spine. Exhale down the front to bring all that extra energy back to your lower Dan Shen. Smile to there. Let your awareness go inward. And locking that in with our 9 rotations. In each direction. bring your hands in prayer position. Let's just thank the energies that were involved today. So let's thank the heavens. All the heavenly energy, all that yang energy that we worked with. Let's thank nature, the beautiful energies of nature, of the planet, and also the earthly energies and the spirits that are involved in all of these energies, thanking them for all the chi and all the energy, all the love that they're sending in and around us, supporting us in our daily life. And thanking yourself for being open to this. Great. And we can also send lots of gratitude out to each other as well. All right. Great, everyone. Good experience here. Let's learn a little bit more about this. We have a few more people we'd like to that have experienced the course that will talk about their experience as well.
Great. Okay, so before we do that, we're going to have Noah have a question about the, when I do the pulling down the heavens exercise, sometimes I feel a little bit of static, cloudy energy around me. How do you differentiate from picking up energy from around your environment versus the heavenly earth energy? Okay, I think that's a really good question, because that is, because a lot of that around us, there can be all sorts of things going on in the environment. One simple answer I would say to that is trust your intention, that as you intend, that is what will happen. I love to demonstrate this by everyone rubbing their hands together. And I'm going to have you, let's do a little bit of an intention. And so the first intention is just to send healing energy from your right hand to your left hand. You don't have to visualize anything, just your intention. Just intention is just, I'm just going to just intend it, right? It's very simple. And did you notice anything that when you intended that, something happened? Good. And then we're just going to change channels. Let's send some, I'll change that to white light energies. We had said healing energy. Now it's white light. And just, you don't have to see it. Don't do anything. You just intend it. And so white light, and you don't have to like make a fuss about, am I believing it or not? If you just intend it, intention is super simple, and just feel like, oh, did something change? Was I like clicking on a different channel when I said white light? Okay, and now we're going to change it again. And this time we're going to send water element energy. Wow, what does that even mean? Don't worry about it. I'm just sending water element energy to my other hand. Does that feel different? So just notice that with your intention, does something change? That's all we're looking at here. Just a change, and like, it's just a simple change. And as you do this more, you will feel a lot more. So those who do a lot of this, like, wow, there's like, wow, it's like you're on TV station, completely changes every time you do that. And you're not forcing anything, and you're not, it's like, this is the power of you. This is your power. This is your, I mean, it's amazing who we are and what we can do with our intention. So we want to have good intention because we don't want to be messed with bad intention. Anyway, and so now let's send earth energy, whatever that might feel like. So earth energy from the right hand to the left hand. These are the two powers that we were working with very much today. And then what does that feel like in the left hand? Did that switch a channel? And then we're going to feel, let's change that to heaven energy. What happens when we send heavenly energy? And we're going to end that by just sending balanced, healthy energy to our left hand. It's very receptive, that left hand. So that's why it's really nice to do that from the right hand to the left hand. So just balancing your hand back to, well, even maybe better than it was. So if it had any aches or pains, it should be feeling good now. It's had a good little healing. Okay. So, and just bringing those hands back to normal. And thank you, hands. And so this is the power of you. So we don't have to worry about those kind of things. It is just who we are to be able to do this. Okay. And the more you get out of the way, the more you're able to bring that pure intention through. And so even if you are in a place that's got maybe crazy stuff going on, if you focus and you ask for that, and it will come for you. So Dagmara says, Wendy, you said something about intention, visualization. A third thing during the meditation, how do you define the difference? Yeah, visualization seems like, oh no, I'm not a visual person. And so you notice when you did that, you didn't have to like suddenly start visualizing, like how would you even visualize heavenly energy anyway? You know, you just had to intend it. So visualization starts to, is actually can be a lot more difficult. Some people can visualize it like that. But most people know, you're not going to like visualize things like that. Be like, oh, I got to work on that. When you do this a lot, you'll actually, the visual will start to happen, you know, with the intention on its own. But that can take a while, and it may or may not happen. You may or may not need, you may be getting other information while you're intending some pink light into someone's heart, and something else will be showing up at the same time. You're getting other messages. Your other world becomes a lot more full. So you don't have to, visualization can be a block for certain people or for a lot of people. And so I like to take that away and just say intend. And as you can see, intention is very, very powerful.
And I'd like just to also add here that it's a skill. These are skills that we have lost and that we're bringing back. So this is a skill like anything. It takes a while to learn that. And as you do more of this, you start to see other things. And then maybe that sense of visualization starts to come into play for you. That's what's happening for me. I'm starting to become more visual in my work with people, which at the beginning, it was all kinesthetic. It was all a sense of what was going on. It's just something that I'm starting to develop. And so as you learn the skill, as you develop your skills, then these nuances can start to take on even greater and greater opportunities for you and ways of exploring.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so thank you, John. I would like to invite Don in to say a little bit about his experience.
Good morning or afternoon, wherever you may be. I'm Don. I'm an osteopathic family practicing athletic therapist. I started into the Qigong journey probably in 2015 by attending a couple of John's Qigong workshops or classes, and just to get some basic body awareness and movement for myself. Over the years, I kept forging further and further into Qigong just by some of the meditations, more of the exercises, some actual treatments, just to experience that. And then was aware of Wendy's courses one night when I was just searching the internet to find something that was missing in my practice. There was always something that just always felt I was not accessing or touching base with. Taking the courses through Wendy, through the Shamanic Chinese Medicine, has upgraded not only my own health and my own wellness, but also that with my clients. Originally suffered from a bad back injury in my youth and didn't think nothing of it because I was young. Didn't really look into it until I was in at least my 30s, and then finally started to look after it in my late 40s, which was when the Qigong came about. And for where I am now to where I was even 3 years ago, is pretty much night and day for me. That also meant a lot of the exercises, a lot of the meditations, a lot of the breathing, a lot of the treatments that we can do on ourselves and do with classmates. And with that, with those treatments, because I live in the East Kootenays and we're able to make it into Vancouver now, not so much. So we do a lot of courses online. The fact of being able to treat from as far away as we need to be to actually feel the changes and feel the work has allowed my practice to expand. So I have clients pretty much all over the world that will contact me and will set up and appointments and do the distance treatments, which will allow them to experience healing and sensations and to be more aware of their bodies, which will then turn into healing programs so they can work with themselves to take the autonomy to heal. We can only do so much, at least in my profession, we can only do so much, and the body is smarter than I will ever be. And if the human who looks after that body does what they can do, the body was an incredible thing to heal. So I've thoroughly enjoyed the experiences working with and the classes and the extras on the sides and little journeys that we sometimes go on to when we do our treatments or when we do our meditations. So again, thank Wendy and John for allowing me to be part of this one and to continue on the profession program with the medical Qigong. And I'm looking forward to the next courses and carrying on. So thank you.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate that. Great. And Bonnie.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Bonnie, and I've been, how do I say it, Wendy? Hanging on to your coattails or hanging around Wendy for the last decade or so. John is one of my colleagues, and I thank you both for inviting me here today. Honestly, if you have any doubts about teachers, John is a passionate teacher, and Wendy is the huge portion of magic that she brings to these courses that opens and expands our consciousness. And for me, when I came to Qigong, my inspiration was my father. He did Qigong every day, twice a day. And you could still study surface anatomy on his body when the day he died. So I couldn't learn the 144 sequences of the chance session. So I'm looking for the easy method. And I found Qigong in England, came back to Canada, and had gone to China and seen how everybody is in the parks, happy, doing Qigong and looking so well in community. And I thought, that's what I want in my life. So forever the procrastinator, when I met Minka, she said, Wendy's starting a class in September. And I thought, no, 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 no. And then Minka, being the penultimate businesswoman, she rang me up. She said, you know, you can carry on this course because they've recorded everything and you can catch up. And I thought, and then she said something to me and she said, you're ready for this. So that's a question I want to ask all of you here today. Are you ready? Because the door is open. Wendy said, this is a window onto your life, but this is a gateway. This is an opening for your physical, emotional, spiritual expansion. And for me, as a physiotherapist and an acupuncturist, I was looking at Qigong very much from a physical aspect. And John, I want to thank you today for just taking us home into such beautiful practices. And Wendy, the meditation. I think we've all received many golden nuggets of the Qigong path. And I can say that after 10 or however many years I've been hanging around, because what John has encompassed in such a short period of time is magical. And I just feel that if you're looking for a physical way of healing yourself, for creating well-being in your life, you've arrived at the right place. But I would like to extend that. And I'm a 35-year-old in a 75-year-old body looking for longevity. And so Qigong is my path. right? And I encourage all of you to start participating. If you did even just gathering from the earth and gathering from the heavens every day, your chi will thank you. And this is all about an energetic path. And so going from the physical and loving the set of 5-element exercises, because it tunes into who I am as an acupuncturist as well. I then went into more of the emotional and the spiritual aspects. And today I can say that having come through the phases of Wendy's teachings and being on the doctoral program, it is really my spiritual path and my soul journey that has been the great gift Wendy's given me. And I thank you for that. And I do have the courage to go deeper now. And it's not just physical. And the journey has been really, really exciting. It's been enlightening and allowed me to just plumb the depths of my soul without fear. Overcoming fear through Qigong practices, through the breathing, through all the wisdom that we get from this ancient tradition of teaching, because Wendy also imbues it with the Taoist thought. And I was never more thankful when you said Taoism, Buddhism, Confucianism, and all the other isms are not contradictory. And so it's inclusive, which I love. And I have to tell you that Wendy is one of the most accepting teachers, because coming from the School of Rehab and acupuncture, I fronted up and I said, you know, I'm not going to read these tomes of books from cover to cover. I want an experiential learning. And that's exactly what you get when you tune in with John and Wendy. So I encourage you to go through the door. This is a portal to a whole new expansive world. And it's magical. So if you want magic, hang around. I've been. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie. Yeah, and you're a real embodiment of all this too. So thank you.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, I think we need to go on and start to talk about the course.
I just want to let you know Karen is here from last year. I didn't know if she had a couple words or something. If you feel like you're up to it. No, she's kind of going, no, she's kind of doesn't like me.
Right.
I didn't want to put her on the spot because she wasn't aware that I was going to do that. Yes. So I'll honor that.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks for being here though, Karen.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. And also Nancy's here, who I work with. And so in the house clearing work, maybe let's put Nancy on for a second. So Nancy and I work together in an aspect that's very advanced of this work, but we do house clearing together. And Nancy is our expert geomancer and dowser. And she took this course a long time ago. It was a very long time ago. Yeah. Back around 2006 or 7 or something. It was back there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's lovely that you're here, and we do spirit work together and do major clearing of buildings, homes and buildings, and it's interesting because we echo each other. She'll say we'll put things on, to have an outline or a blueprint, and we'll be at home first before we go there, but we'll put our X's on where there's problems, and we compare our things. Like we find all the same stuff, and it's very cool.
And I think it's good to understand that that this work, most certainly it has so many benefits to it. But the more you become in your center with the work that Wendy is teaching and John, you're then able to be more solid in helping other people with either themselves, their space. It's an expansive integration of reflecting within ourselves and reflecting without ourselves. So the benefits are quite numerous. And I think that with time, you just become more confident of basically a person, of what it is that you're here to do, what your gifts are, and those gifts will enhance, and you'll be more in tune and in touch. And we have fun. It's fun. You got to know that. It is. It's you get to explore. It's a different channel that you get to tune into that you may have never turned on before. And that in of itself, when you want to turn off the TV right now, I would say that in and of itself is such a relief to have a different narrative of absolute wholeness and blessing and wisdom, and being connected with your higher self, with your guidance right now more than ever, in my opinion, and I'm sure they'll echo it. We need that. We need that connection. We need that grounding. We need to trust ourselves, because right now with all the transitions, we all find ourselves questioning and doubting, and our minds are swirling, right? And so this teaching that Wendy does, these classes, will really help you ground and really help you with the anxiousness that some of you may be feeling, and get you back in your Shen, your heart, and allow you to feel more solid regardless of what is coming your way. And that's the gift of this work.
Thank you so much, Nancy. That was great.
Well said. Thank you.
Well said. Yes, it is a good time to be doing all of this, to be learning this. Absolutely. So it's a medicine people need more than ever. Absolutely. Okay, I have a question here from Dagmar, actually 2 questions. Can you quickly say something about the structure of the training? Yes, I'm going to. We're going to do it. And what's the difference there to other Qigong traditions? I'm very interested in knowing a little bit more about the history and lineage. This is Dagmar, yes, of the teachings. So did you have the books there handy, John, that you can pull one up? So someone mentioned books, and you don't have to read the whole thing. I have a bookshelf over here, and there's a whole segment. Yes. Is that the new ones?
That's the new one. Yep.
Mine are
medicine.
over here on my shelf. There's that whole row is these.
Yeah, there's more.
There's a lot of books that we teach from. And so this is our lineages coming from China. It's actually from Dr. Jerry Allen Johnson, who has worked with many, many teachers. So, he has a great autobiography that's out that really says how many lineages he came from. But then the main one for our books is coming from, well, he's also a Taoist abbot. So there's that aspect of it in Taoism. He's also very much a Christian. And so this inclusiveness that Bonnie was talking about, that it's like, everything comes together and makes sense under the umbrella of the Shamanic Chinese Medicine. Is a great umbrella that will include everything about you and what you know. Everything that's true gets to be in there. And also especially from the Qigong hospitals that came out of China, that were in China for many years, sort of post-Cultural Revolution. They created these, but then in 1999, Lao Gong came along and they were erased. But during that time, there were these amazing hospitals. They brought together all of these backgrounds from all the different lineages. And so the different lineages were kind of brought together, and they created these amazing hospitals, and the information was shared, and they did incredible work with healing. The things that couldn't be healed elsewhere, they would send to the Qigong hospitals where they would be healed. And they were in conjunction with the rest of Chinese medicine, but they might have a Chinese medicine, more Chinese medicine department. And then, but the Qigong department was very, very important. And these were the real masters who came in and worked to heal people. So China has a very strong lineage in these Qigong masters. And a lot of these Qigong masters are also the practitioners of Chinese medicine. So they could be doing acupuncture, and certainly in the old lineages and the families, you were all these things. This was never broken apart. You would do all the practices. So there was no such thing as a great acupuncturist who wasn't also a great Qigong master. That, that didn't happen. You would be together, and you'd be a great herbalist.
Right.
You'd be a great bone setter. You'd be great Tui Na. You would have all these things, but it would be very particular to your family's lineage, and you would have secrets. What had happened after the beginning of communist China is that they kind of shook all the Qigong masters, or all the Chinese medicine masters upside down, like empty. So like, you have to share your knowledge. And they had these huge conferences during the 50s when they brought all of them together to try and understand and create sort of a unity. It went out the window with the Cultural Revolution. It's just Chinese history. And then it came back in afterwards, and then it's out the window again. But now it's over here. And so we're so blessed to have this. And especially Dr. Jerry Allen Johnson, like no one else has put this down on paper. And he's made it his life mission to transmit this information that he feels so blessed to have received. Interestingly, he actually says it must have something to do with the fact that I think he was born like Okinawa or someplace in Asia, that he has there's some Asian roots in there, even though he's not an Asian person, but he has this, and it is his life work to disseminate this. And I feel very blessed to have worked with him and to be his friend, and to have started studying with him back when he taught it out of his garage in the 90s. So I've been connected with this work also, and it really feels very, very personally to me. It's a huge part of my life purpose too. So, and that is to bring this to you.
And I also want to stress that Jerry's learned from Wendy too.
Learn some things from me.
She's also been a teacher for Jerry too. So, because she's learned so much that she's able to teach him a lot of that shamanic stuff too, of things that she's come up with that if he actually integrates now. So I want to let you know that it's actually both ways there.
Thank you. Okay, and then we're talking about, yes, the structure of the training. Okay. So the structure of the training is, it used to be in the old days, not very long ago when we were in person, it would be 4 5-day seminars and then the clinic. And that was the basic medical Qigong. So we have put this online, but we can't do full days online. It's not good for you energetically. So we're not going to do that, because we're all about the Qi and the vitality. And also, we've also found that breaking it up into now, instead of 4, it's 8 segments, and plus the clinic. But having it broken up like this is actually easier for people to absorb, because those are really full. And it feels actually really good to do it this way. It allows us to have people all over the world participate. And that is awesome and fun. We love having all these other people joining us from all over.
Yeah, people all over North America last year, and even the Caribbean.
Even the Caribbean, yes, and even some parts France. Oh, that's in the other classes though. I had France in there. I had Australia coming in, and we'll have France this year coming up. So so we do have people from all over, which is pretty cool. Maybe we'll have some people from Europe this time too. So very, it's working really well, and we've found how to do it. And that's the thing. And we've had to start working on it, obviously, a couple of years ago. It's like, how are we going to get this across? This is online. And it felt like, oh my God, you can't do this. It works extremely well. I have to say, it works well. I'm really pleased with how well we are able to get all of this communicated at all the levels that it needs to be communicated, because it's obviously not information, it's not verbal. There's a lot more going on, and we can do it. So I'm just really pleased with the way that that's working out. And so now we have these half-day classes. Everything is recorded. So that's fantastic for people to be able to have these recordings, and they're broken up.
We have a wonderful assistant that, an example, Mario, that breaks up your videos into segments so you can find exactly what you're looking for, which is lovely.
Yeah, which is super important. Yeah, so we have these wonderful videos that are chaptered. And another amazing thing that we've come up with to really make this work for people is that we have a mentorship program, which is that we have people who have completed the course be able to mentor, come back and mentor people who are going through it. And because we're at a distance, it's wonderful to make these connections. So we consider that to be extremely important.
That's a one-on-one with a mentor. Yeah.
Yes, one-on-one with your own personal coach, basically,
right,
to help you through this course. And we like to create groups also that do their homework together. So between the classes, there's homework to do. And so you get that. You get also libraries of recordings from the past with different versions of the meditations that we offer. So so we have that. The classes all have, it's divided into, we have lecture, and the lecture takes what's in these very big, dense books and makes it very easy to understand. So that's the whole idea, that we spend time lecturing. All these pieces, all these components come in. And the lectures are PowerPoints. So we have a lot of PowerPoints, and we talk about them and we answer questions on the PowerPoints. We have of course, meditations, which are very powerful. We have experiences that are like outside of meditations, but hard to explain until you actually do those. But sort of like this one where you felt something. It's like, oh, we have other things going on so that you can have, like, I want you to experience. Like this was about experiencing, what does intention mean? Like, don't just believe intention, find out. I want you to find out that intention is real and it's powerful, and it's not tricky at all. It's like, the more you get your head out of the way and you just intend, the more that's going to happen.
The best thing you can bring into this course or into life in general is curiosity.
Yeah, openness.
And that's where you'll start to learn about how these things kind of start to come together. And it's okay to be skeptical or whatever and uncertain, because we haven't been doing this, and it's been hidden knowledge from us, and now we're bringing it into the forefront. So it's okay to be a little skeptical, but I invite that to be a healthy a healthy dose of curiosity.
Yeah,
really helps.
And I think one of the things is great to let things go that you already know about, and just have this sort of like an empty cup, but you're going to find out that all the stuff that you know about will be like part of your offering, because it'll come together and it's going to make sense. There's this synergy that will happen inside of you that will then allow you to be your highest expression. So what we love to see is at the end of this, everybody is very unique in what it is they offer. We don't expect people to come out one way, like, oh, did you do this exactly? Like, people, you're going to do it your way. And we love that. So we look at supporting you in being your true self.
And that I can't stress enough, that I really want to just stress that too, because whatever gifts you're bringing in, whatever things you're doing in your life, this just adds to it. It doesn't say you have to give anything up. This is saying, no, bring that in and this will expand it. Yeah.
So long as, it's just, but have an open cup, like an empty cup attitude, but know that whatever you have is like there for you to draw on. And people come into this, you can just do the first seminar if you like, but be warned, often if you do the first seminar, you're not going to be able to stop there. Because that happens all the time. And so it's set up as a program to heal others, but it really starts off with the first seminar is very much about healing yourself. But you'll find that as that healing others and learning about healing others heals you. Mm-hmm. And so there is this piece that is it is like your spiritual growth. And if you're interested in your spiritual growth and interested about embodying your soul and all of those things, if you are sitting there as a cup, you know, a certain amount of light can come into you. But if you become a river, and that you become so much more, and that all happens to you so much more quickly, and your transformation is very deep, because you are bringing not just the light into you, but you are passing that along to others. And so our method of healing is very much like, well, we learn, but as it goes, it becomes more of a teacher. There's a teaching quality to it. And certainly you learn to teach the Qigong practices. But there's so much in the gifts of the healing. It tells you who you are. The kind of healing work that we do is amazing, because you amaze yourself. And as Bonnie says, it's magic. And it's magical. And if you ever want to be a magical being, this is a great path to being that. John has a lot more information to give out about the specificness of the classes coming up.
Right.
And so you can just certainly get in touch with John. And
please do.
Yes.
Also, there's one last question here. Jennifer wrote, she goes, this is wonderful work. Is this a yearly offering? If you're unable to commit to this course at this time, can you suggest a different course that would dovetail with this training?
Okay, so that's a really great question. So
Yes,
one of the requirements to become the practitioner of Shamanic Chinese Medicine is that you take the channeling course. The channeling course, it's going to be offered in January. And so taking the channeling and the second level of the channeling fits into that, the mediumship. These are sort of the magical aspects of the master, is that you need to be able to have these connections. You need to be able to understand and work in these levels. So,
and light body too.
And the light body is amazing. That's a meditation series that starts in January. So there's a couple of things there in the beginning of January, but well worth doing. Yeah, so those are kind of the other offerings that tie into this course, especially if you want to have the shamanic aspect. And
right.
So we require that as the shamanic aspect.
And those are nice to take first too, if you're not able to do this time. Yeah. And yes, it is a yearly offering, by the way. We just so you know that is a yearly offering. It is a yearly offering.
Yeah. And remember, if you feel like it won't fit in to your time frame, John, if you could put your...
Yes, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. Okay. If it doesn't fit into your time frame, remember that the courses are also, if you can't make some of the days, if it interferes with something somewhere along there, that they are recorded. So, and that there is a mentor program to help you through all of that.
I see Alice with her hand up. So,
okay, yes.
Question, Alice?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
It all sounds so incredibly enticing. I was wondering whether so I'm gathering from the bits and pieces that you're offering this course as 3 different seminars or in sections. The first one focusing more on personal growth, and then the others focusing more on a healing practice with others. So is that have I got that right?
Okay, I'd say the first one is the one that's really mostly on your own growth. But after that, you can't heal without your own growth. So it's always all happening. Your own growth is very much happening at the same time. Those 2 streams are happening through the entire course, all the way through. It's all the way through. It is your own, because to do any kind of magical work, you have to become more of a master. And so that has to do with, like the second course is to do with consciousness. And so you learn sort of steps in working on someone else, but a focus is on the fact that you have to, in order to do this work, you have to step in and be in the moment. So there's a huge meditation aspect to the second set. So each of these are 2 5-day segments. So the first one is 2 5-day segments. The second one is 2 5-day segments. And they are, and then again, the third one is continues all the way through. You know, we start to look more deeply into emotional clearings, emotional growth. That's all the way through. It's like, what's in your way? What's blocking you? So we're continually working on, I think as Bonnie said it, this is a path of spiritual growth that's going on at the same way as, so did that answer your question? And there's 4 segments plus a
4
clinic.
segments. Okay.
4 segments and a clinic. Yeah.
All right. I guess my question really is, can you sign up segment by segment?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
And if you decide to go on, we'll generally give you the credit on the at the end of the year. So yeah.
And so the whole thing, all the segments last for 1 year, or
it's one like school calendar year. If you think about a calendar year, it starts in September, we end in June.
Yes.
Basically kind of like that. And so the segments will start at the end of September, the first 5 days. And they're half days, they're just for 4 hours, 4.5 hours, something like that. 4 hours, yeah. So 9 to 1. And
break.
That's Pacific time. So you have to work with your time zones wherever you're at. But if you email me, my email's on that chat. I will send you all kinds of information about the specifics of the course, all those little nuance, questions about how things work, the books and all that kind of stuff.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Alice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, there is. Stacy was asking a question. Is there any segment that will be in person? We're crossing our fingers here and our toes. We have this, the course is set up. The first 3 seminars are completely 100% online. So that will take us through till April, I think, roughly. And then we'll do a segment. The first 5 days, or the first part of the 4th seminar will be online as well. And then we're hoping to have 3 full days in person in June of next year, which will be followed by the clinic, because that will also be in person, which is a everyone welcome clinic there where you get to work with your skills and help others. And you'll be working with someone who has a higher level, like your mentor would be, and work with someone to give treatments to people from the public, partnered with someone. So that we're hoping is going to be in person next year.
But we have to say we did all of that online this past year, and so if it has to be online, we do know how to pull that off, and it was really fantastic anyway. It was still fabulous.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
I don't think anyone felt at all like it wasn't as good. So if that's how it is, it is. But if the world does open up,
in Vancouver, British Columbia, by the way,
it would be in Vancouver. So we'll see. I think we'll be offering those core classes though, both online and in person. So if people can't make
it, if you had problems getting to Vancouver, there would still be an option for you.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not that you're excluded.
Yes, you won't be excluded at that point. There's no way. So, especially if you're coming from places like Australia, where that could be really difficult. And we have interest in Australia, so. So to know that that's there, poor Australians. Then we have Australians who get up in the middle of the night. I just can't believe how
they're hurt. They're
dedicated
from 1 a.m. till 5 a.m, and I just don't know how they do it.
No, it's so hardcore. I just you guys are amazing.
People.
Yeah. So, but people really want to get this, and this is if that's what the opportunity is, then they really want to take that opportunity. So, okay, I think we are.
For the time, we might want to.
Yep, I think we're trying to wrap up here.
And of course, if you have a few extra questions afterwards, we can always stick on for a few minutes and answer questions.
We'll stick on. Yes, if there's any other.
We'll wrap up here for now.
Yes. Okay, and to wrap up, we like to stand up. Thank you, John, doing the magic here. Okay. So we're going to start with pulling down the heavens again, smiling to the earth, to the heavens, and bringing that down. I think it's flowing down the front of the body. And just really kind of bringing that in, all this great energy, smiling and bringing that in again, now down the back. Another nice breath, gathering that and coming down through the center and bringing your palms to the navel and just really feel your center. Smile to yourself again, appreciating yourself for being here. I want to bring the hands around now and gather from the world, the beauty of nature, the beauty of life that's here to support you all the time, and bring that into your heart. And then, because we're in a virtual classroom, we want to send that love back out to all the people that have been part of our virtual class today. Thank you for sharing, because we really shared together, and into the future, those who are looking at this in the future, and then bringing that back in, that sharing back into your heart. And just taking a moment and just feeling the power then of the group and how we as a group can make a wave, and breathing that in and sending that out into the world. And feeling how just that pebble in the pond, that we make a ripple outward every time that we connect into heaven and earth and really start to discover who we are. And then coming back to the heart and thanking yourself again for being here, and thanking the group. Namaste. Blessings out there. And coming back in. So thank you for being here.